Okay, so we all know there are tons of things that we spend money on that we really shouldn't spend money on that in fact are keeping us broke. You may not realize that they're keeping you broke, but they are. So in this video, I'm talking about 12 things that keep the middle class people broke. This is money talk for real. Now, whether you want to look at these things keeping you broke or just things that you're wasting money on, both of them apply. The first is credit card interest. Credit cards are the biggest scam, the biggest hack, the biggest loophole for the credit card companies to get more money out of you. You may not think that 1% is bad. If there are even credit cards that charge you 1%, that's being very conservative. And I also understand that if you're struggling financially, it's really easy to just put stuff on a credit card. But there's a big difference between putting everything on a credit card and truly putting emergencies on a credit card. Here's an example. If you truly are struggling financially and you are close to being legitimately broke and something happens, maybe you blow a tire on your car, maybe your air conditioning goes out at your house, and it's a true emergency expense, you may physically not have the money to pay for it, so you put it on a credit card. That's one example. The other example, which is probably more common, is that you put your latte on a credit card, you put Uber Eats on a credit card, you put vacations on a credit card. You may even just put $2 to $3 items on a credit card, but you do it 5 times a week. The balance slips away from you because you do not physically see it leaving your account, and the interest rates start to stack up. The interest rate that you pay on top of the balance that you owe is what you're wasting your money on and can lead to you being more broke than what you probably realize. Number 2 is lunches out. This is very common, especially in all of us that are working our busy lives, our busy workplaces, our hustle, our grinding stages of life. You wake up early in the morning, you're in a rush to get to work, you don't want to wake up any earlier because maybe you went to bed late because you were busy the night before. It's just a big cycle, and so you don't pack a lunch, you don't plan your meals for while you're not at home. So then you get to work and you're hungry and the starvation hits you and you think, oh my gosh, I have to eat. Why not just go grab a sandwich from the local deli? And then you go to the local deli and that sandwich costs you $15. You do that 4 days a week, 5 weeks a month, 4 weeks a month. You see where the math starts to really add up. The other trend I sometimes see is just peer pressure. And what I mean is that your broke friends at work want to go get lunch out. And so they invite you and you don't want to miss the camaraderie. You've been hustling all morning. You want a mental break from your job. So you just join them to go get lunch because you feel like you're missing out if you don't. It is always cheaper to pack your lunch. And trust me, I know those restaurants have amazing food, but you can still make really good, tasty food at home and pack it and bring it with you. Number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with number 2, and that is simply drive-thrus. And this doesn't have to be just lunch. It could be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Again, you're paying for the convenience. We all live busy lives. We're busier now than we've ever been. The world is turning very fast. And when you're in a hurry, you have to get off of work, and let's say you have to get home to get your son to get to baseball practice. You're in a hurry. You're afraid that you won't have time to eat, and you didn't plan well, so you hit the drive-thru. Once again, eating out is not going to be cheaper than eating at home or making food at home and bringing it with you. Stop wasting money on drive-thrus. Number 4 are car issues that get neglected. Now, this can be a little bit of a reverse psychology because you think, oh, well, if it's a minor issue on my car, I don't need to spend money on it right now. I'll save money and I'll be, have more money to where I'm not spending as much. So you ignore the issue. But then one issue turns into 2 issues, 2 issues turns into 5 issues, or that one issue that was minor is now a major problem. So you neglect these car issues, then you finally just cannot drive your car anymore. It breaks down, something terrible happens. You have to take it to a mechanic, and that's where they get you. That's where you spend a lot more money than if you would have just fixed that one spark plug or that one patch in the tire at the very beginning. So sometimes you see this can be kind of counterintuitive, but it's always good to get a reliable car and fix the issues as they come in. Yes, it's going to cost your money, but fix it now for quality service and quality parts on your car that can be a reliable form of transportation to get you to where you need to go in life. The number 5 thing that I see people going broke or wasting a ton of money on is simply alcohol. I'm a bit biased here, so I'm gonna lean towards one opinion here because I typically don't drink that much, but alcohol, especially out at bars, is super expensive and way overpriced. Bars are going to mark up their drinks. They make money on their drinks. They are a bar. That's why they're in business. Have you ever been to a bar in a downtown area on a Friday night? There's a ton of people in there. They're getting a ton of business off of marking up alcohol. So if you think, oh, I want to go out with some friends on a Friday night, and you buy 3 drinks and each drink is $12, there's $36 almost immediately in one night that is gone. And you think $36 is not that much until you do that twice a month. Now you're at $65 That could be close to the cost of your internet bill. The alternative, you may say, is to drink at home. That is certainly better than drinking out at bars, but even going to buy a fifth of liquor or a fifth of some sort of alcohol at a alcohol store is not cheap. If you drink, you know what I'm talking about. Number 6, lottery tickets. If you are broke, or you're struggling financially, or you simply don't have a lot of money, you're chasing that one-hit mentality. It might sound something like this. Well, I only need to hit one time and I'll make a ton of money. So $1 here and $1 there is worth it. Not true. Read the back of the lottery tickets at the overall chances you have of winning. And by the way, those overall chances of winning are any winnings. For example, if you buy a $1 ticket, you have a 1 in 5 shot of winning maybe just $1. Overall odds of jackpot winnings are much smaller than what you think. And again, this is how they get you. It's $1, it's $2. What can it hurt? Until you're chasing the mentality, you're chasing the wins. It's gambling, it's an addiction, it's a problem for some people. Wasting money on lottery tickets is a very fast way to go broke. Number 7 goes hand in hand with number 6, and I see it all the time, and it is sports betting. This one's tricky because if you follow very good sports bettors, you could hit winnings, say the first 3 or 4 times you sports bet. And then you get the hit and you think, wow, I'm doing good, I'm on a roll. So you keep betting. Then you increase your value in how much you're betting. And next thing you know, one loss, you lose all of your earnings. So then you chase it again. You chase it to get those earnings back. You can't lose money, so you're gonna bet more to get back what you lost. This is a very slippery slope. It's a very dark hole to go down. I would avoid sports betting altogether to increase your chances of not going broke. Number 8, new phones. Please stick with your old phone. If it can make a phone call, it can send text messages and emails and search the internet and get on social media like you need it to do, then you do not need a new phone. You don't need one just to keep up with the Joneses, just to keep up with your friends, just to look rich. I understand it may be a bit slow and a bit inconvenient, but if it does what you need it to do, just use what you have. A new phone is not cheap. You're not getting a new phone for $50. You might look like that when you sign the contract at your AT&T store. It's $50 right now, but your monthly phone bill goes up. They're gonna get their money no matter what. You're gonna pay for the phone whether you see it now or see it later. Stick with your current phone. If a new phone comes out every year, you probably don't need a new phone every year. The 9th way that I see people wasting money and going broke on is drinks and snacks and candy and treats at gas stations. In other words, gas station items. And as I've said before, this is a trick. This is a $1 doesn't hurt, 75 cents doesn't hurt, $3 doesn't hurt until you're constantly doing it twice a day, every single day. If you want those treats, that's fine. Buy them in bulk. Go to a wholesaler or a retailer, a big box store, buy a case and take it with you to work. Don't go pay the overpriced candy bars at gas stations or the overpriced Gatorades and Monsters and all the stuff at gas stations. Yes, they're good. They're treats. That's why we want them. Buy them in bulk and take them with you if you need those things throughout the day. Number 10, and this one's a little bit odd, but the next way that I see people wasting money and possibly going broke is low, small, one-time purchases, low quantity purchases. And again, this can be counterintuitive. You think, oh, I need batteries. So you buy 1 4-pack of batteries instead of buying AA batteries that come in a 100-pack, because that 100-pack is going to be significantly more expensive for the sale price of the 100-pack of batteries. But if it's something like batteries or like toothpaste or deodorant or something that you know you're going to need a lot of over time, it's often better to buy it in bulk. Buy it from a bulk seller, buy it from a big box wholesaler where you can spend more money up front but less per use or per item. I hope that made sense. Number 11. Low quality items. This is a mindset of broke people and poor people in general, and it's not necessarily their fault, but it's simply buying the cheapest option because you think you're saving money. However, as you probably know, those cheaper items don't last as long, so you end up buying more of them because they need to be replaced more often. Sometimes it's best to buy the most expensive item as long as the most expensive item is the best quality item, because it will last you longer, doesn't need to be replaced as often, so it saves you money over time. Buy once, cry once is a popular saying that I believe in. In other words, you pay more upfront, it hurts your pocketbook now, but you don't have to think about it anymore and you know it's going to last, be of good quality, not have any issues. Number 12, the last thing that I see a lot of people wasting money on is looking rich. And this is a very vague term that encompasses a lot of different examples. This could be jewelry, this could be watches, this could be sunglasses, this could be handbags, purses, luggage, cars, shirts, shoes, etc. You're trying to look rich because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be felt inferior. You don't want to be looked at in a way that makes you look poor, because that's a pride issue. So you spend money on things to try to look rich, when in reality, you don't have the money to be spending on those things. And so it causes you to not be rich, even though you're trying to look rich. Those are materialistic things, and it's very easy to say, don't worry about what other people think about you, but it's something you really have to concentrate on working into your brain and focus on more often so that you can have more money over time. There are plenty of examples where the people that look the richest are one paycheck away from losing it all. The people who don't look rich at all have $1 million in the bank. Let me know down in the comments what kind of video you want to see me make next. Smash the like button down below and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching. This is Money Talk for Real.